Do you believe in a casting coach? Is that a real thing?
I don't know, man. I ain't never been there. I went into this. I one time. I went into this. I ain't call his name, man. But I went into this producer's office. He called me. He wasn't a producer at the time. He was a manager, and he a big time producer now. I went into the office. I had to audition. He wanted me to. He sent me on audition. He was my manager. Sent me on audition, and I went. He said, "Well, come to my office first. I want to see how you do it." I'm like, "This kind of strange. I never go to my manager office to audition." I went in and, show him how I'm to do it. And I went in, man, he was sitting behind the desk with his underwear on and his body all greased up, man. I was like, wow. So I did the audition. I got to go, man. I don't want to be late. He said, yeah, it's just hot in here. It's hot in here.
What is going on with y'all, man? It is Black Balloon, and I'm coming back with another video, man, so y'all already know what's going on. Alright, y'all. Now, check this out, right? I thought this was pretty interesting. This is Bruh Man from the Fifth Flow. Y'all know Bruh Man from the Martin sitcom, right? He recently went on the Art of Dialogue, the channel reacted to multiple times. He gets some really good people to come on to his podcast, right? And so I expected him to eventually get to some of the questions that he usually asks people. Y'all know, like how when he interviewed, Pinky from Friday, he went all in about the casting couch, a lot of different things in Hollywood, right? And so he got to talking to Bruh Man on his come up. He obviously asked him one of the main things Bruh Man has been known for talking about and hinting that something was deeper than what it seemed, which was Tommy's death from Martin, right? Mr. Ford. So we all know that story. Remember, I played the original clip in my most, viral moment on YouTube, if you want to call it that, the Bernie Mac video. I think that was the Bernie Mac video, right? I think I did put that clip in there. Y'all know the biggest video I ever had on my channels, right? So I'm gonna play the original clip again, but because in that clip, that was 6 years ago when he did that interview. I think it was on Hype Plus YouTube channel, right? And he talked about Tommy going in for knee surgery, and he didn't come out. Basically, he had, he supposedly had a aneurysm in his abdomen because of the knee surgery. So I want to play the original clip. I'll show a piece of the latest clip where he talks about it, the same situation, but the original clip, he really implied that something wasn't right about that, and I just want y'all to see the difference. But he basically stuck to, what he meant. He went in for knee surgery, and basically he died. Something that, they say people have a lot of complications from, but it feels a little bit different with Tommy, especially him being on Martin. And we all know how Hollywood goes. And on his latest interview, he also talked about an experience he had on the casting couch and how, he had to audition in front of something he'd never done in his life. So I thought it would be really interesting to go ahead and play those clips. And you'll be surprised at something I read from an article that also had to do with Anthony Anderson responding to the death of Tommy. And now that we know what we know about Anthony Anderson from that last video I did, I just question anything that, he's around or anything he's involved in. Because apparently he was like one of the closest people to Tommy. But we'll get there in a second. So with that being said, y'all, we're going to go ahead and run these clips real quick. And we're going to come back and talk about it a little more, all right? Check this out.
Probably not that long, but um, um, one of his friends called, matter of fact, Dee Dee mother that was on Bernie Mac, she called, man, and she told me, she said, she said, we lost Tommy today. I said, oh man, that hurt it, right? That hurt, because that was, like I said, that was my dude, man. That was my dude. Cool brother. Man, I mean, call him and get any kind of information that you need, any kind of direction that you need. He was a director too, man, because he went to USC Film School. He was supposed to direct Fridays. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he told me that, but they gave it to F. Gary Gray.
From what you know, was everything okay with his health?
Yeah, man, he went in to get a knee replacement. And somebody told me, I think he had a stomach aneurysm, and I had another friend just recently, man, may rest in peace, Stan Ralph, Cheryl Lee Ralph brother. Last week, man, he went in, he fell down the stairs and he had his knees, his knees was, I think he tore some ligaments in his knee. And he went in, he couldn't move. And all of a sudden, man, blood clot went to his brain and, took him out. So people ask me, man, I need to get my knee replaced, man. I'm like, wow, I don't know about that. I'm gonna have to limp the rest of my life.
The life of a stand-up comedian is it's a grind.
Oh man, yeah.
It's late nights, early flights.
This the 7th show tonight.
Wow. It's like, and we lost a couple. We've been losing a couple cats.
Yeah.
And then I even think about Tommy passing.
Yep.
How did his death impact your own?
Man, I felt that because Tommy was the only dude on the show that I really, kept in touch with and hung out at his house and talked and. Tom was cool. I was on the road in Baltimore. He came out, man, because he was doing something in Baltimore. Came out to the show. We hung out, and to hear that, man, that was Dee Dee's mother. Bernie Mac show mother called me and told me about Tommy because they was tight, and that was a tough blow right there.
And they have like a wake up call and like. For yourself, or how did you
me, man, because, I want to get knee surgery. He went in for knee surgery and ended up,
Right.
So I'm like, I put that knee surgery off for a while.
Wow. No real deal.
Yeah, so, that's that junk. That shouldn't have happened. That seemed like something that shouldn't happen, man. But, it was a tough blow, man. Even when Bernie passed, it was tough, man.
Yeah.
It was tough, and Bernie, man, was one of the coolest dudes you could ever meet. I mean, Bernie used to, man, he tell you to come up to, like, during lunch, man. He had the buffet in this room. He like, yo, man, y'all ain't got to worry about it. Come up to the room, man. They got a whole lot of food. I mean, that's how he was, He was a cool cat, man.
Yeah, I mean, did he ever talk about what he was trying to do before, like, his passing? Did you ever kind of get like, what else was he trying to accomplish? Because I feel like with the show, to me, that's what a lot of people want. They want their own show, especially with their name on it.
Well, I ain't really get into that about it, about, what he wanted, but, he was very passionate about his work. I believe they probably worked him to death.
Now, something I noticed is in both of those clips are 6 years apart, maybe even 7. He said that he needs a knee surgery. And it's obvious, clear as day, he never went in for that knee surgery. He just, they just recorded the latest clip with Art of Dialogue a couple of days ago. And he's still saying he need that knee surgery. But that should tell you something. He ain't going in for no kind of surgeries because he really knows how Tommy died. Now, it says at the time in 2016, he died on a Wednesday. It said that he had been documenting his recovery from a knee replacement on social media. Then TMZ reported early Wednesday that Ford had been hospitalized over the weekend when complications developed from his surgery and immediately was placed on life support. Said rumors of the actor's death began circulating on social media after Ford's friend, comedian Anthony Anderson, tweeted earlier Wednesday that the actor had died. Anderson later deleted the tweet, saying he was misinformed and instead requested prayers for Ford and his family. They say he may not make it through the night, but miracles happen. Y'all, that I found to be weird because it says he was hospitalized over the weekend back in 2016. This would have been in October of 2016. He was placed on life support, and Anthony Anderson just happens to be the first one to tweet out that Tommy had died. Then later deleted the tweet saying he was misinformed and just actually were requesting prayers. It sounds like Anthony Anderson jumped the gun and it wasn't supposed to be announced yet. They had to sell this death as in, oh yeah, he's on life support. He's going through it. He might not make it. You know, some complications happened. They had to sell the death properly. It sounds like Anthony Anderson jumped the gun. He was told to delete the tweet. It's not what we wanted you to do. And boom. I just don't trust nothing that has Anthony Anderson involved. And that seems really sketchy on him saying that he was dead and then deleting something and later saying he was misinformed. How are you misinformed? How are you the first person to tweet that he died, but then say you were misinformed and then he ends up really dying? That just doesn't make sense at all. And bruh man said that didn't seem right. That wasn't supposed to happen. Very, very interesting, y'all. There's no way that man died from that knee surgery. I think he was sacrificed ultimately for that role on the Martin show. Somebody was gonna be gone, just like all those 90s sitcoms. Brandy, all those shows, we done talked about damn near all of them. You know, the Curse with Friday, all of them. Someone is gonna go, ritualistically, basically. But check this out. I want to play one more clip from the Art of Dialogue channel, and it's where he kind of talks about the casting couch and his experience. Thought it would be interesting for the video. So with that being said, y'all, check.
Do you believe in a casting coach? Is that a real thing?
I don't know, man. I ain't never been there. I went into this, I went into this, I ain't call his name, man, but I went into this producer's office. He called me. He wasn't a producer at the time. He was a manager, and he a big time producer now. And I went into the office. I had to audition. He sent me on audition. He was my manager. Sent me on audition. And I went, he said, well, come to my office first. I want to see how you do it. I'm like, this kind of strange. I never go to my manager office to audition. I went in and, show him how I was do it. And I went in, man, he was sitting behind the desk with his underwear on. And his body all greased up, man. I was like, wow. So I did the audition. I got to go, man. I don't want to be late. He said, yeah, it's just hot in here. It's hot in here. I said, yeah. So I think I don't know if that was the closest I got to a casting couch, but I ain't never been in a situation like that before, man. But it was crazy. That was crazy. That was the wildest thing I ever had happen to me in Hollywood, man. Sitting there audition for a dude in his underwear, man. This is draws. And he had the tighty whities on. And body all greased up, dog. Yeah, man. It was in the middle of the day, man. And I was like, wow, this is crazy as hell right here. So You know him very well, but I ain't gonna call his name. Talk about it after.
What was your reaction when he did that? Did you say anything or?
Man, I was flabbergasted. I didn't know what to do, man. I just tried to I tried to hear him do the audition so I could leave and go to where I was supposed to do the audition at. And so I was like, wow, this is strange, man. I was like, I hope it don't get no stranger than this in Hollywood. But that was the closest, that was the weirdest thing that I seen that ever, that first of all, I thought it was strange for me to go to my manager and audition first so he could see how I'm gonna do it. I ain't never had to do that before. That should have been the strike one right there. But that was crazy. He was sitting down in behind his desk like it was a routine thing.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, it was, man. Hollywood wild, man. You see a whole lot of things. I heard a whole lot of stories that a couple of friends told me, man. So Hollywood wild, boy.
Whoa, there ain't no way, not on God's green earth, another man gonna invite me into his office and say, I want to see how you do it. The way he said it, I was like, why it sounded like he put emphasis on the do it part, but it's almost, if you keep listening, it's kind of like how he talks. But he said the dude invited him into the office and said, I want to see how you do it. Hell, what? From right there, I'm not even going in the office. It's not happening. That's crazy. I want to see how you do it. I'm like, yo. And then he said it was in the middle of the day, and the dude in his office, basically butt-ass naked. I almost don't even want to believe he had on drawers. The nigga, he was probably butt naked, full of baby oil, trying to see if he could make some shake with bruh man from the fifth floor. And then he said he still did the audition and said I had to go. I'm like, yo. Now, obviously, outside of bruh man's own stories, we ain't heard nothing about him. There's not a single thing I can find where we would be sitting here exposing bruh man. But I wouldn't even have did the audition. And the reason he not saying whoever person name it is, and everybody under the comments was like, Lee Daniels think he's slick. Basically saying that it was probably Lee Daniels. Obviously, he still wants those opportunities, and he's not willing to say who it was. But that is crazy. I'm not finna audition for nothing in front of a man in white drawers in the middle of the day, 2 p.m., full of baby oil, and I'm trying to get a role for a movie. And this is the guy who finna decide if I get that role. Hell no. Just at the fact that bruh man did the audition is crazy. But it go to show you, when they chasing that dream in Hollywood, they desperate, they need that money, they need that check. Just how they, take care of themselves, how they make a living, They'll look past that kind of shit. I just feel like as a man, you try me. Like, I'm finna beat you up across the desk now. You butt naked with oil on. Like what old dude say, pack him up. That is crazy. That is nasty work. That's in the middle of the day. Yo, I want to see how you do it. Hell no, that's insane right there. I just feel like as a man, you try me, like that's crazy. And your draws is something else. But that's Hollywood. I just wanted to play that clip because it doesn't escape anyone. Obviously, bruh man from the fifth floor, huge A-list celebrity, in all kind of movies. He's not that guy, but it just goes to show you it didn't even escape him. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, hope y'all enjoyed that one. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. That being said, y'all, Black Balloon, and I'm going to see y'all soon, all right? I'm out.